Hello guys. So today I want to share with you three pitfalls when using optionals in Java that I made some and it caused surprise problems. And I hope you can watch this video and know how to use optional, like to avoid such problems. So the main idea of using optional is to avoid null pointer exceptions. But if you're not careful, you may introduce null pointer exceptions when using optional. So let's get started. So the first thing, this is quite basic. So you're using get without checking if the optional is available or not. So I have this example here. And I have a class user and this is my code, right? So let's see if I user ID 1, right? Something like that. Uh, let's see, I'm going to public string name, okay, get name, okay, something like that. So this is naive, something like that, okay. So for example, this is something you got from the database, and without checking if the user is available or not, you, you call get, and this ensure you get a null pointer exception. So let me run this. So you have no value present, no such element. Sorry, it's not a null pointer, but you get an exception. So the idea is to make sure that the the value is present. So in this case, name equal user. User is present. So then we get the name or otherwise. I have a suggestion here. Let's see. And you can replace this. And this is for, well, it looks nicer, cleaner, but you get the idea. With optional, you need always to check if it is present or not before you call the get function. Or you can use more functional style like this. So now I don't have any issues, okay, about that. So the next thing is the introduction of null pointer exception if you're not careful. So for example, you want to return an optional of something you call, okay? So for example, this one, you get some string and you want to wrap it as an optional. And if I return OK here, and I print a get here, then sure enough, you get an OK, okay? Here. But what if this function return no? And you see that IntelliJ is smart enough to notify us this might be null and you will get some issues. So let me comment that and run the code. And sure enough, we had a null pointer exception here because you cannot, this is equivalent to optional of null. So what do we do in this case? So there's a method called obnullable. So if the value is null, then it will return an optional of empty. So I'll just print a here. And when we get something return null like this, we have an optional of empty. And if returns something like have a value, then we have an optional of a value. So that's it. So make sure when you want to return an optional of something that you are not control, do not use of like this, but you need to account for the case it may return null. Then of nullable is the right way to do it. Okay, so let's go to the third and the final point I want to demonstrate. I want to show in this case. Okay, so let me, okay. So what do you think this code will produce? So we have like this is a catch function, for example. You want to get name. So first you want to check if the name exists locally in the local catch. So in this case, it does. And if not, then it will call Redis. So for example, we have Redis catch somewhere. So the order is if I have the name in local catch, I'll get it, or else get Redis, or else. If not, if it's not available in Redis, then throw an exception. So we throw exception when we cannot find the value in the catch. Okay. So what do you think this will happen? So I was kind of naive and assumed that this one will return, then it will not call get name Redis. But let's run this. And surprisingly, you get an exception. Why? So get name locally returns value, but the thing is, the block, the code in orElse here, it is always executed. So instead, I get an exception instead of this value x1. So there's very important things here that if you design a catch system like this, it doesn't work as you expect. It always calls this one. So this one, this local catch is hit, but still it will call other expensive operation, or worse, in this case, throw an exception like this. So how to avoid this? So most of the time, you don't use orElse, but use orElseGet. So instead of provide a value here, you need a supplier, and like that. And I want to put the name here. And if I run now, if the get name locally returns some value, then it will not call this block. Okay, let's run this. And we get x1. Okay, so let's try this. So name Redis of x1 from Redis and return this empty. Okay, and now we call this, it will let me print something here. Okay, get locally get name Redis. So this will call get name locally first, then get name Redis and return the value. So sure enough, the first one is call, will return empty, and we'll call Redis, and we'll add Redis. So this is kind of surprising to me when I got the issue at first, but the takeaway is always most of the time you just use orElseGet instead of orElse to avoid issues and confusions. So those are the three things about optionals. I hope you find it useful, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.